Well, hey everybody, thanks for checking out our video. I'm here with Trevor from Nectar, who is our sponsor this week. So, Trevor, why don't you give us a little bit of background on Nectar and how you guys started?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nectar, we started as an employee discount platform called Perk Now, actually about 4 years ago,
Hmm.
and we built an app to help host like all the discounts and benefits employees had available to them, all of their perks, because we found that most employees weren't utilizing or taking advantage of those types of things just because they didn't know about them, and
Right.
companies didn't have a really good way to disseminate that information.
Hmm.
So we built a huge network of thousands of discounts nationwide. Um, but what was interesting is about 2 years ago, uh, both our customers and prospects we were talking to kept asking us over and over again about employee recognition and if we had any solutions for that.
Hmm.
And they pretty much all told us what we're doing was cool, but it wasn't as powerful as a way to create recognition within a company and make it more frequent and more meaningful, and to also like deliver the incentives and streamline the process there because a lot of them were running to the store to buy gift cards.
Right.
um,
Yeah.
they don't have like a standard way of doing it, so like each manager is in charge of their team and has some type of budget, and it's hard to track all of the incentives going out for tax purposes, but also just really burdensome process to go through.
Okay. I didn't
I don't
even
know
think
if
about I didn't even think about the tax process side of things. I could see that being like a pretty cumbersome thing when you're giving them out to all of your employees.
yeah, total nightmare, right? Especially at the end of the year with payroll, it's like
Right.
you have to go to each department or manager and see, try to collect all of that information, which is tough. So,
Right.
um,
Okay.
so yeah, there's a number of things there. So as we did a lot of interviews and customer feedback, it led us to building what we call a 360 employee recognition and rewards platform.
Hmm.
We found that recognition traditionally has always been top down, where it's a CEO or an executive to an employee or a manager or director to an employee.
Okay.
Um, but the peer-to-peer recognition aspect of being able to recognize a coworker and
Hmm.
having a vehicle of doing that is actually extremely powerful, and it can help really build culture, connection, collaboration, and also drive the amount of recognition and appreciation that's happening up
It's also
significantly.
a I would have to jump in and say it's
Yeah.
also a great way to bribe your coworkers to get something done. Like, hey, I need this done by the end of the day. I'll give you, like 20 points if you can get
There
this
you
to
go.
me.
Yeah. I love that. Yep. Yeah, that, and also like breaking down silos and departments, right? It's like if somebody, say I'm on sales and like somebody on marketing went above and beyond and like got me like a really good lead or something, for example, it allows me to be able to send them a shout out, attach some
Right.
points to it, um,
Yeah.
and really break down all of those silos across departments too.
Well, yeah, so let's check out. It looks like you're on like the shout out page here. Can you show us like how rewards and shout outs and things like that work?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this is what we call the social feed. So you'll see all of the shout outs are done in public, so everyone in the company can get involved, and you can add a GIF or a GIF, however you say it. I know there's a hot debate on that. So you can attach one of those. You can attach emojis and different things like that as well. But basically, we've tried to make shout outs really simple, right, and remove all friction. So
Mhm.
you search who you're trying to give a shout out to,
Mhm.
you would add points as well, and then type up a message like thanks for going above and beyond on that project, um, and then add a core value. So the core value is also really important. It's very difficult for companies to operationalize these core values and really embed them into the DNA of the culture.
Oh,
um,
interesting. Yeah.
you have like meetings about it, or some companies at the office, they have these values like painted on the walls or whatever. But
Right.
if you ask people if they know the core values off the top of their head, it's pretty rare that the majority of employees are able to do that.
I'm guessing then you can like measure how many times like those hashtags have been used.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll walk through it a little bit later in the analytics, but we do
Okay.
have analytics that track all of these different hashtags or core values. So you
Oh, cool.
can
Okay.
slice and dice it by department, even by individual. You can see the breakup of all of the shout outs given during whatever period of time and see what the
Okay.
breakdown is there, and be able to finally have insight into which ones are being embraced by everyone
Hmm.
or which ones maybe need some more work or some more promotion as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I just go ahead and send this out, and it would post to the feed here. People can like, comment, add on. Has kind of the social media feel to it. You
Hmm.
have leaders throughout the month of who's been given the most points from their peers as well. We also have automation around birthdays and work anniversaries or years of service.
Hmm.
So instead of keeping track on a spreadsheet or not really knowing what to do for these special milestones or events, our system at the beginning of each day will go through everybody's. If it's anybody's birthday or work anniversary,
Hmm.
you can have it post a shout out to the feed,
Hmm.
telling them
What
happy
it
birthday and giving them points.
Yeah, what does that upload process look like? Is it like, the head of HR or something uploads like a CSV or an Excel sheet or something of all the employees and their birthdays and upload it into the system, or how does it
Yep.
work to get it in there?
Yeah, good question. So, right during onboarding at the very beginning, we'll upload the employee list with a number of fields.
Okay.
And that's a feature that some people use and some don't as far as birthdays and work anniversaries, but they can upload that as part of the initial bulk upload, which would be either through their HRIS. So we integrate with every HR system. Um, and
Okay.
that's an automated user management, right? So if somebody comes or
Oh,
goes, it
very
will
cool.
sync with our system. The other option
Okay.
is doing a bulk like CSV upload to have all that
Okay.
information in there. So
Cool.
um,
Okay. Great.
yeah, and then we'll have rewards in here. So you have points to give and points to redeem. So the points to
Hmm.
give, every month, each employee is given a monthly allowance.
Hmm.
That could be 50 points, which would be $5 US. It could be 100 points. It depends on each company. And so
Hmm.
those are only points that I receive that I'm able to give to others. So I can't redeem those for anything.
Yeah.
And it's on a use it or lose it system. So if I don't use it at the beginning of next month, it'll just refresh to whatever that amount is. Um,
Hmm.
the points to redeem are the ones that I've earned from others, and these I can save up for as long as I'd like, and then redeem them for different reward options. So, for example, we have a a swag partner with over 1,400 items, and
Hmm.
so you could put your company's branded swag on any of these items.
Very cool.
Um, and these are all on demand, right? So they're made as soon as an employee redeems them, and then shipped
Mm.
directly to their doorstep. So what we've seen is most companies will have, and this hopefully resonates with a number of people, but they have like a storage closet where they're buying
Oh
swag in
yeah.
bulk
Oh
and then
yeah.
they're like storing them somewhere, right?
Mhm. It's super time consuming. I definitely did that for another company and it would take me away from my day-to-day all the time. And so this is awesome that you guys have kind of automated that process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a huge pain point for a lot of companies. So it's fully
Yeah.
automated. You never have to touch it. There's it works for like any size budget as far as the items go, and we have tons of different brands from Nike to Carhartt to you name it, um, as options here. There's also the gift card section, which is probably the most popular.
Mhm.
So there's gift cards in pretty much every country. There's over 100 in the US, and they're all e-gift cards. So we could go in here and select the amount we want to swap out our points for or cash out, and those are
Yeah.
sent straight to your inbox to use right away.
So I know you mentioned that you have other countries on here. We do have a fair amount of readers who aren't based in the US and are kind of,
Mhm.
scattered throughout the world. Are there any countries that you're not servicing?
Yeah, I'm not sure who we're not servicing off the top of my head, but you can see it's a pretty big list. So all
Oh,
of our
great. Oh,
main
wow.
hubs
Okay.
where there's employees, and then just to talk to those readers as well, we're actually working on an Amazon business integration, which should be done in the next 4 to 6 weeks,
Oh, wow.
where it'll be like another option in here, Amazon, and you'll
Oh,
see all of
cool.
Amazon's catalog. Yeah, and you can just exchange your points instead of like getting an Amazon gift card and then putting the claim code in Amazon. You could just search
Mhm.
all of the Amazon items in here and be able to get it shipped
Cool.
directly to you in multiple countries as well. Yeah, and then there's custom rewards as well. So these were requested. A lot of companies have their own things that they want to do that aren't always tied to money. So you can create these custom rewards and tiles,
Mhm.
decide how many points they're worth, and then it kind of walks you through how to fulfill each of those as well. It kind of helps you
Oh,
track that,
cool.
almost like a Trello in a way. We'll hop into challenges. So challenges is great if you're trying to do um, like any type of wellness challenge, like a step, like steps. We have like walk 10,000 steps a day or whatever. And this is a self-reporting system for employees to earn points. So this is where the employee discounts happen. So this is how we originally started, but you'll see deals like 45% off your Sam's Club membership, or a
Mm.
lot on when things do open up someday. There's lots on theme parks and hotels and Universal Studios, for example, or Disney. Um,
So is this section, this is just built into to Nectar, or is this something that like the, company would have to put together?
no, so this is baked into the system. It comes with all these discounts right away.
Very
Um,
cool.
and to clarify, these have nothing to do with the points. So you
Mhm.
don't need points to redeem these or anything. It's just something that everybody has access to, regardless of if they've earned points or not. So this is what we talked about a little bit earlier with the core values. So Scrappy, for example, is a core value, and it shows you this month like how many total shout outs and points have been given and what percentage of them
Oh, cool.
have have been around the core value. So teamwork, for example, there's less than 10%. So maybe something that you want to like look into or drill down on a little bit, right?
For going back to the hashtags for the core values, you're able to do multiple for a post, right? It's not limited to one.
It's not limited to one. Yeah, you can do
Cool.
multiple for sure.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Awesome.
yeah, and so you can see participation month over month. This is what percentage of your workforce has been recognized in a given month. We always want to shoot for 90 to 100% if possible to make sure
Mhm.
everyone's feeling appreciated, because the lack of recognition is one of the major factors of why people end up leaving their companies.
Right. So I could actually see a lot of like HR leaders or managers at a company kind of looking at these reports and kind of looking at any turnover rates or anything like that with employees. And it'd be really interesting to see how they correlate, because I'm sure these would be huge key indicators of, why people are turning over.
Yeah, that's a good point. We've seen that lately with prospects. A lot of times they'll come in and say, "Hey, we just did a survey and found that like one of the biggest areas we need to improve on is employee recognition." So
Hmm.
that's what led us to start looking around, and what we eventually found you guys to help us
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
And then on the other end of that, we've also heard of like the exit surveys saying that a big reason somebody left was because of recognition, right? So
Absolutely.
and then another really interesting one for leadership is some information or data that they're not used to or they've never seen. But we're
Hmm.
able to see the collaboration between departments and how what the health looks like between like marketing and sales, for example.
Oh, cool.
It's considered an organizational network analysis.
Yeah.
And so you can see like the thicker the line, the more collaborative or the more they seem to be working together, which for sales and
Hmm.
marketing, you want to see a really thick line there. But
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
if it was really thin, that'd be some important insight for you to maybe drill down on, look into to see what's going on there and how you can improve that relationship, right? We also have a number of integrations here with, as mentioned, like all the different HR systems out there, is usually a big deal. Single sign on, any of your single sign on or identity providers. There's
Mhm.
also two of the main ones are Slack and Teams. So you can send shout outs directly with a slash command on either of these.
Mhm.
And they will sync bi-directionally with our system. So every shout out in Nectar will get pushed to a certain Slack channel that you want it to, and from Slack to Nectar as well as with Teams. So you can kind of bake that into the everyday workflow and the software stack that you're using.
Yeah, so as far as pricing, if a company wanted to jump on, if somebody from the assist was interested in learning more, getting demo, et cetera, like how does the pricing look for that?
What makes us different is the usage based billing, right? So you're paying, it's kind of like Slack's model of fair billing where you're only paying for active users. So say you have 100
Mm,
employees and only 60 of them during that billing cycle or that month
hmm.
use Nectar, then you're only billed for those 60 employees that actually used it.
Oh, cool. And your competitors aren't doing that. It's just per
Nope.
user per month,
Yeah,
flat.
exactly. Yeah,
Got
so it
it.
kind of puts you at risk a little bit. You're not sure how well a new system will be adopted,
Right.
especially when it's
Yeah.
your whole workforce.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, we wanted to really align well. We wanted to align our product well with our customers
Hmm.
and drive the urgency on our side to make a really good, really sticky, useful platform,
Right.
because that's the only way that we will be able to make money at the end of the day is if people are using it and people are
Yep.
actually recognizing the company's seeing value out of what we're doing, right? You can cancel anytime, so we don't do like annual contracts. You don't have to get locked in.
Are competitors doing that? Do they typically lock you into some kind of contract for those
Yeah,
platforms?
yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say majority of time it's at least 12 months,
Yeah,
if
like
not
annually,
24
right?
months. Yeah, usually an
Mhm.
annual type thing.
Okay.
Um, so that's how that usually works. And then most of them we've seen are charging implementation fees, and it's not crazy to see two, three, $4,000 implementations just to get started, right?
Right.
Um, so we've tried to kind of flip the model on its head and make it as easy as possible to not only buy but to implement and adopt and just get up and running with, because we're confident that if we can get you implemented, employees are going to use it. We have the data to show that, and
Mhm.
it's going to be an integral part of the culture.
Yeah.
And hopefully every month, every day, and every month, we're trying to earn your business versus 11 months from now reaching out, oh, we're getting close to renewal here, how are you guys
Yeah,
doing,
right.
as far as the three tiers go, you do have a free tier if you're just getting started, don't have very much budget. This is purely like the peer-to-peer recognition aspect of it with like gift cards as the rewards.
Mhm.
Those are like the two main components, which is great if
Mhm.
you're trying to get started. Um, where the standard and plus get different is you have like manager to employee recognition built into standard. So managers
Okay.
can have bigger budgets or monthly allowances
Okay.
to be able to give to their teams.
Mhm.
This is where the like Slack and Teams integrations comes in play, the birthdays and years of service bonuses, different award types and things like that as well. And then
Sorry, real
yeah, go
quick,
ahead.
going back to the free version. So I know that for the standard version, you have that manager to employee recognition where the manager, for example, could have a completely like separate budget, like
Yeah,
budget of points. Does that mean that the free version, everybody starts with the same budget and has the
exactly.
same budget? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Got
everyone
it.
would have the same across the board, which is
Gotcha.
still a great way to get started, right?
Yeah, to just test it out and get a feel for it and see how your
Yep.
company adopts it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yep, and then as far as Plus goes, and the majority of our customers end up going on Plus just because they want the automation involved of like syncing their HR system, whether it's like Bamboo HR or ADP or Zenefits or whatever it
Mhm.
is, as well as the single
Yeah.
sign-on, and the on-demand swag as well is a huge one that
Yeah.
helps them decide on this. So the 375 is what they'd be billed annually if you want it to be billed annually. Um,
Mhm.
and then it'd be 425 per active user per month if billed monthly.
And as far as, the next month, you are giving our readers an awesome discount, right?
That's right. Yes, that is correct. I'm glad you remembered. I almost forgot. Yeah, so for the month of April, for the assist readers and family, we're offering an 18% discount on our paid subscriptions. And that would be an 18% discount that would be grandfathered in.
Mhm.
So it's not just for 1 year or for the first few months. If you
Amazing.
if you sign up with us in sometime in April, yeah, 18% forever, which is pretty significant. It's more than what our normal annual discounts are. This is
That's
pretty exclusive. So
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. I'm sure, our readers would be super pumped about that. So assist readers, make sure you sign up, try the free version. If you love it, do the paid version, support Nectar. Supporting them supports us. So, we appreciate you, checking it out.
thanks so much for having me on, Joanna.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks, Trevor.
Perfect. We'll see you.
Cool.